Welcome to another episode of the Cannabis Coffee Crew, where the coffee is strong, the cannabis is smooth, and the conversations are out of this world.
Boom squad in the house. I lower the boom when I do the cipher dance. But that's just Aggie Bass as I romance the blast. I take puffs on stuff, rough enough to give a buzz to my guns, even though we don't touch the stuff. See this blood in my front, some say my stink. But yo, the stuff helps me think, helps me think, helps me.
Hey everyone, this is Pandar wishing you a happy Friday. Today we have myself, Folt, Nuke, and Itsu. Folt, how you feeling today?
Pretty good. Finished last edits of the book. Ready to smoke. Ready to talk about whatever we're planning to talk about today. How you feeling, Nuke?
Doing all right, man. Kids are in school. I ain't got shit to do. So it's going to be a chill Monday. Just waiting on the wife to get off work, but that's like 8 more hours. So, yeah. Itsu, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's good? I'm chilling, man. The tape is done. Love it. Working on a smaller tape, with the boy, with the homie, and then gonna try to set up a live stream show. See if I can do a little live stream set. But other than that, man, I'm chilling and I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to get into some good combo too, man. That's gonna be great.
You should host that live on the Cannabis Coffee Crew live stream
I could.
that we're setting up.
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
That'd be sick, bro.
That'd be a cool little thing to do. Pandar, what you got going on? What's up? Oh,
Packing the bong. Taking hits from the bong.
It's from the bong.
Wongy,
Yep, I
wongy.
need to hear that song.
We'll have to do
Cypress
that later.
Hill. Cypress Hill.
But yeah, no, we're doing great. The book has finished its final read through. We're about to officially be authors, and not gonna lie, I cried a little as we were reading the last page of the last chapter, and I'm like,
rightfully so.
He's like, what is your problem? And I'm like, we're authors, and it was actually a good book, and we're laughing, and it's good, and I'm so happy. And he's like, oh, women. But
He's got a point.
my feels, I felt them, so I expressed them. Take it.
Listen, rightfully so. Y'all put a lot of work into that book, and you guys dedicated a lot of time and effort and
That's
sweat
true.
to that book, and so
And a lot of
you know,
wine.
and
And a few sentences where something
a lot of
surged.
wine, a lot of ounces.
a lot
it
of
surged
ounces.
forward, surging of surgefulness. And that's
Hey,
I'm not going to lie, though. If anyone has a small vocabulary, just write a book.
try to.
Like, try to write a book, and your vocabulary will expand.
And
then
then-
you'll describe things in all kinds of ways, and all your friends will look at you and say "ayo."
And then you'll like
every time you say something.
be in the groove, and you're describing something, and you're like, yeah, because that was, the kids said that jesting. Oh, all right. Well, they were doing this jestingly.
No, jestingly.
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 And
It's
then
not a real word.
Word will yell at you.
Hold on. You know what's cool though? Because we wrote a fantasy book, right? Technically, you can make your own words.
You can make
You
up
can make up
fucking
a whole-
everything.
you can make up a whole language if you really
So-
wanted to.
Yes,
We made up
flapperflap.
two. We made up 2 words in our book. Gurglingly.
And jesterly.
No, jestingly.
God damn it, I can't speak. Give me more coffee.
But they're 2 not real words, but they
Run
actually
that first one
add
back again?
gurglingly. I know.
Okay, it doesn't
I
get
know.
better.
Your
It doesn't
brains.
get better.
Your brains are going to a bad place. It has nothing to do with that.
Man, I don't think our brains
It's
are
talk-
going to a bad place. I just
It's
think
talking
the way you
about
say it.
somebody's stomach rumbling. It's a
So what is it again?
descriptive. It's talking gurglingly, and it's talking about the sound someone is making. Really?
I may or may not have opened the soundboard, yes.
Anyway, it's a children's novel, and no, it does not refer to anything inappropriate in that sense.
No.
It's in reference to somebody's stomach rumbling, but we wanted to say it creatively.
Right.
So we
I
made
vote
up our own
for-
damn word.
I vote for Tummy Quake. I feel like that would have been a good placement in there too.
You know what I
I
tried to
mean,
get in
that's
there?
not bad.
Skull skin.
That was
Kevin
And-
wouldn't let it go.
And
Guess
wasn't
what
You wouldn't have
exactly-
let that shit go neither.
What? Come on.
It was.
How else do you
listen,
describe a forehead? Skull
There's-
skin, motherfucker.
So
I mean,
what
you
we
gotta
actually we did skull skin did not make the cut. We actually changed it to upper brow, but it is actually incredibly hard to say forehead in many different ways.
True.
And
You
I
can-
thought
yeah.
skull skin was
without turning
clutch,
in-
but here we are.
Yeah, but without
I mean,
turning
in a
into
way.
like insults and using 5-head rather than 4-head or something like that, it's like
But
there's
like
really
Cat
not
has got
another
10
way.
head.
Bruh.
But we ended up going
starting to grow on me.
skull skin, bro.
Skull skin.
Gold
But-
skin.
Skull skin. I mean,
But that doesn't
Kevin was
describe
like,
a forehead. That
"What are you-"
describes the skin around your skull.
So I typed it. He
That's
goes,
any part.
what are you even talking about?" And I'm like, the skin, it's on your skull. And he's like, "No, babe. No."
It's
I don't know. I
because
feel
it's
like
not. There's more skin than here. It's everywhere, right? It can't just be
Because you have this, it could be the back
can't
of your
be
head,
skull skin.
technically.
But you're only talking about just the
Because your
head,
whole
technically
skull is covered in
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah, so technically, I mean, it works.
You would have to say
technically.
front, top, center, skull skin.
All right,
There we go. Got it.
That's a whole sentence.
That's
right there, just
copyrighted.
describe it.
Thank you.
I see Nuke's face. That's what's making me laugh. This shit's.
Copyrighted. You can't use it.
Where's the ball?
Oh, fuck,
Hold my AOs in, bro.
bro, copyrighted. Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
perfect.
no one should ever use skull skin to describe a forehead.
I'll be use it. Whatever.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it just doesn't paint the picture vividly.
I'm gonna make sure me and my girlfriend use skull skin from now on.
No, I'm going to too.
I'm gonna
No,
use it.
Kevin
Yeah.
does too now when we're joking.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm gonna be like, hey babe, you got some on your skull skin there. Let me get that for you.
And she's gonna look at
She's
you
gonna look at you like, what the
fuck is your problem?
let me get that for you. There's something hanging off your skull skin there, man. Oh, that's great.
These are the joys of writing a book.
I got a bump on your skull skin.
The bong is ready for you, babe.
Oh, got tears, dude. That is so funny to me.
The veins are
Like
coming
we
out
said,
of your skull skin.
Try writing a book. Your vocabulary will be enlarged.
Forever altered. That's for sure.
Forever altered.
As the veins enlarged from his skull skin, you could tell he was.
No. No.
Dirty bong move.
I'm glad this is an adult podcast.
Oh,
Me too.
my Lord.
But let me actually pull up
That is
the word
great.
here, because I'm
That's
gonna
great.
see where we used gurglingly and give you the full sentence. Because
You just need to clarify
Gurgling.
yourself. That's what it is.
Gurglingly.
Gurglingly.
Was that an adjective? That's an
Yeah,
adjective. Yeah,
was.
okay.
What's an adjective?
Oh shit.
You need to.
I'm from South Carolina, bro. We didn't learn
Funny, bro.
shit.
I was gonna say you should have access. It's just renamed.
yeah.
Yo. South Carolina.
Bro, our education is horrid. We're like one of the last like states that have the worst fucking
Don't even.
All right. Are you ready?
yeah.
As her stomach gurglingly let out a ferocious growl.
Damn, that's top tier.
I stopped here.
That is.
I'm
top
just
tier.
saying that's where we used it.
Yeah, one
So
of our
as much as-
characters loves some food.
That's top tier for sure. Damn.
But yeah, the whole idea was to just describe how your stomach gets when you're hungry.
I think
right?
that's actually one of the coolest parts about our characters in the book is they're all bits and pieces of like our kids and ourselves as children. Into,
And adults.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Amanda, she loves laughing at her own jokes.
Bruh,
So every time,
who doesn't?
Every
I
time
do.
we're reading through the
Love
book,
my
man,
fellow
there's
jokes.
certain parts, and she just starts giggling.
I
Just so
do.
funny.
I laugh harder at my own jokes than I do anybody else's jokes.
To be honest, I'm my own favorite comedian.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
because you have all the inside details, right? It's like
That
when you
is
joke
true.
with friends that know something, right? And you have all these internal jokes. It's
Yeah,
just
it's like
I don't know.
Kevin and I. We've been together for so long. Pretty much, there's so many little just inside things where it's just one word. Even not, you don't even just say anything. Someone else says something. We already have that look, the thought, and it's just laughing. Like,
And that's how me and my girl are.
Yeah.
if you can find that person, you found the one.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
Me and
sure.
Kat go at each other, yo. Like we fucking, we'll cut deep with our jokes.
I don't know. I can't do that. I mean, it'll just turn into how do I fix the crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
See,
because
that's one thing
our
about
problem
Kat.
is too pettiness. Like, it'll
No,
go too deep.
the
Yeah.
worst, the worst thing is that I have 3 daughters. Okay. My son is the youngest. So it's also pretty bad for him. But when my 15-year-old just wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, just emotions,
Everyone getting it.
pouring emotions everywhere. And then it turns into snippy thing, some snippy thing. And then my wife is crying and they're both crying and they're
Oh yeah, when she first
trying to
started her
mediate that
period,
stuff.
that
It's
was
not fun.
some chaos because we were both like, going through it at the same time. So we're both emotional wrecks, hormones all over the place, and then so we're getting mad and sad and mad and sad, and Kevin's like, "I need y'all to sit the fuck down." Why? And then so like he like mediates this whole back and forth between her and I because we're basically two emotional wrecks who just aren't communicating. And then afterwards, he's like, "Babe, I don't know if I can do this."
Broke the man.
He's like, "I am
I
not
did.
the
I said,
emotional
I
one.
can't.
I can't do this."
I can't.
I mean, but you did.
Broken
And
that.
honestly, you do. Anytime there is, as much as you aren't the sappy one, the emotional one, when it comes down to dealing with situation, it's situational because you 100% will step up and be like, "All right, I get your side. I get your side. Y'all need to shut up. The crying isn't helping." You'll be factual with it,
Yeah.
but you
Well,
also
that's just
still
it.
try to mediate at the end of the day. You still do.
Yeah, using logic. But my wife, who's older, can get when I use harsher terms that I don't actually mean anything by it. But if I look at my daughter and tell her, like, I literally told her this is what works for me, right? When I'm in those funks, I just tell myself I got to get through it and to just like get the fuck over it. Like, that's what I tell myself. But if I tell her to get the fuck over it versus my wife, it's two very different outcomes. My wife's
Right,
like,
because
yeah,
I
you're
know
right.
where
I
you're
get,
saying it from. That's the difference.
and then it just would make my 15-year-old sadder. So I have to like find the words that help change the situation. But
Yeah.
it's hard as a man. Like, I just want to be
No,
like,
because when
just get
you're
the fuck
like,
over it.
"Babe,
Because
you're
that's
being
what you.
emotional. You need to get over it." I'm
No,
like,
but like, let me ask an
"You're
honest
right."
question though. When you were emotional as a kid, your parents looked at you and said, "Get the fuck over it." Like they just said, "Whatever." Like you got to get past it. Like I don't know. My parents were never like kind with those things. So my internal dialogue to myself is quite literally harsh. Like but to me it doesn't feel harsh. Like I don't take it that the same
Hmm.
way. But my
Hmm.
15-year-old,
Is very sensitive, and you could tell her, like, honestly, just being upset, disappointed, like, man, she beats herself up 10 times more. So it's like we
Hmm.
have to tiptoe to say the right things so that she's not beating herself up, realizing all humans make mistakes, but that's her problem. She will harp on something, and we're like, "No, dude, it's already in the
It's all
past.
good.
You can't
Yeah.
change the past. That's not being mindful. Be in the present. That's already done. Now we just make steps to, like, we do what we need to make sure it doesn't happen again."
right?
That's when you're fucking up. If you repeat
Well,
those mistakes.
I mean, if you do any kind of like you follow mindfulness, which I think everybody should be mindful, but you can't change the past. You cannot change the past.
Nope.
No matter how hard
Let
you
it go.
try, you can't. So rather than wasting all of that energy on what happened, use that energy in the present to make sure that in the future it never happens again.
Yeah.
Right? You have control over what you do in the present,
Yep.
and you can understand how those ramifications affect your future. But the past is just for reflection. You can never revisit the past.
Unless
even
you
if
And
you're
use
to
in,
be
my time
honest,
machine.
but
you can't
I
really
mean,
go to the
that'd be cool.
future, so there's no reason to stress so much about the future.
Right.
Like, yes, you need to be aware of things and responsible. But are you going to harp about something happening a year from now? No, because then you're not being mindful and living in the moment today. Today is wasted if you're worried about yesterday and tomorrow.
Yeah. Unless you just use my time machine, then you go to the future too.
Yeah, I just used that thing last week.
Yeah, right? See? It's who knows.
Ran time in that time machine, yo.
Yeah? Where is it?
Huh, it's in my closet.
Oh, okay. Let's see it.
Nah, see the
Oh,
problem
yeah,
is
yeah. What had happened
the,
was.
the
What
problem
had happened
is
was I took it apart, so it's in pieces. I needed to fucking redo some stuff.
yeah, the circuitry was off. I did kind of mess it up when I came back. I ain't gonna lie.
The
Yeah,
circuitry
bro.
on which board?
The space board.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
space-time continuum?
No, the
No, no, no.
flux capacitor.
Oh, okay, okay,
Some things
okay.
is hard to get.
You realize this is as much bullshit as your I can't read, right?
What?
As you're typing?
Who?
Bruh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord.
Nah, man. The flux capacitor. You gotta catch them while they're hot.
He can't just show it on camera. You know the government be watching.
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot of truths. I mean, I speak about them. Time machine, can't read, Earth
Flat
is flat.
Earth, yeah, yep.
Oh,
A lot of truths coming out of my mouth, man. No
This flat
diddy.
Earth is killing me, dude. This flat Earth is killing me. I need some proof. I need some concrete proof.
I give y'all proof every
Listen.
time we talk about it.
No, you
bro,
don't.
No,
Hold on. Anyone listening, please fund the bipolar nuke so that he can fly around the world in any direction he wants to. He's going to need a lot of fuel and a really
Please.
good pilot. But
Where's Elon? You watching this?
Please.
Elon, get this man.
just prove.
Get him up here.
Elon or Taylor Swift, one of you jet users. Look,
Don't act like that. Don't act like that, dude.
Yeah, I think Elon Musk would be more interested for science. But
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think.
But
yeah,
when
but
we
then
reach
Nuke might be forced into the whatchamacallit.
Oh, you're getting indoctrinated.
Illuminati, I'll go in the Illuminati.
The
Give
Illuminati.
me a billion.
And you're going to be forced to do a bunch of drugs.
I love drugs.
Hasn't stopped me before.
I will do drugs on my own.
I don't need no super evil organization.
I'm good.
Damn, I thought you had a gun, Amanda. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, you about to shoot Kev?
Hands up. With weed.
Pew, pew.
And that's a silencer. Boom, 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 boom. It's the grenade launcher.
I can't do sound effects because my microphone doesn't pick them up. So
Boom, 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 boom.
Just turn
I gotta
up the
fix
pickup.
that. No,
Yep.
I'll play around with it outside of a session. So are you, Nuke? You excited for these like smoke session live streams that we've been talking about?
I am. We haven't brought it up yet, but like to everybody that's listening, like we came up with this idea, or really Kev came up with this idea that we should do like a nightly smoke, and I think it's going to be a good idea because this goes out every Friday, but to get on and be able to connect with people live and talk to them as we smoke and as we go through our little rants of whatever we want, I think it's going to be awesome. And people will learn, they'll learn things from us, hopefully like good like mental health things and science things like the earth being flat and some other good stuff.
I can't right now. You sound like
a crazy
what's
person.
What's that actor Terrence Howard or something like
Oh
that?
my God! 2 + 2 is 4, bro. 2 + 2 is 4. Please don't ever argue that.
Nuke, go down his thought train there, bro. Let's have you argue
That's
that
the one.
on
That's the
stream.
guy that played in Iron Man, right?
Yep.
The first one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played as War. What's the dude's name? It's like War something.
Oh, War Machine.
War Machine.
You're thinking of that's the wrong person. Terrence Howard. God, what show was that?
It was because he switched. Him. Yeah, Terrence.
Maybe I'm thinking of. Can we pull up a picture of Terrence Howard real quick? Can we get that? Because I don't. Is that the right?
Yeah.
Hustle and Flow, right?
He was. Yes, he was. Yes, Terrence Howard was Hustle and Flow, I believe.
Yeah, Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, that was But I don't think he was in Iron Man though, unless
He was. He was in the first one, and then they switched him out.
Yeah, they were
because there was a bunch of stuff going on.
But he was in the first one where they did the brief intro with War Machine, where he just like stopped at he had the suit on, but it was Terrence Howard.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine Terrence Howard in a superhero outfit.
Me either.
That's why they took him out, I guess.
I watched the Iron Man movie. He's in it.
Never. Huh.
But
2 + 2
he had
5,
some
bro.
Bro, don't get out of here, dude.
You're about to get muted.
No, see what's going to happen though on stream is Nuke's going to bring it up, and I'm going to have the response video from what's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yes.
Oh, I don't listen to that guy.
About why he.
Why? Because he's smart.
No, because he's an asshole.
That doesn't change things. So is Elon
He
Musk.
is a dick, and he thinks he knows everything, but I promise you, he don't.
No, I bet you he doesn't think he knows everything.
He acts like he does.
No, he conducts himself the way he does because he literally has to prove beyond a reason of doubt, like in so many different ways, on any potential theory. It's very formalized. And that can come off dickheadish and like being crass, but I promise you, I don't think
it's probably a little bit of autism. Let's be real.
Now, I've seen a video of him on a podcast, and like this is where I got, because I've watched Neil deGrasse Tyson for years, and I used to be a big fan until I saw that podcast, and he was acting like a straight dick, basically calling this guy an idiot and calling him stupid and all this other stuff, but it was mostly on like financials, which I wouldn't take his advice anyway. He's a scientist, not a financial advisor. So I don't really give a shit what he had to say.
Yeah. There are times when Neil deGrasse Tyson, personally for me, did come off as a little bit of a dick. Mainly because, and the ones I've seen were where he was talking about science stuff, and really what it was is just like someone would say something, and then he'd just come off as like, oh, this guy's an idiot. He's giving out the wrong information, and then he does it from he does it from a sense of like, this is my ego, like it's an ego thing for me, at least. So,
well,
that's about the way I feel.
It may be the case, but let's also not forget that people can grow and change.
That's true. Yeah.
Its response to the Terrence Howard situation didn't honestly come off that way. He's like, listen, this is what we do every day, and like you have to prove that these things are this way, and like went into essentially explain to how scientists discuss theories and things like that.
Yeah, it could also be because we do take, like we were talking about earlier, we do take that harsh approach on like get the fuck over yourself. So maybe someone's dickheaded response to us is more just like, well, you're wrong. So it doesn't come off that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed, especially with Neil deGrasse Tyson, when he's in more of a public setting, he is a little bit nicer and a little bit more professional. But when it's smaller and it's not as great of an audience, like that's where I feel like that ego comes out and that asshole comes out. And it's like, okay, you can be professional in the big light, but behind closed doors in a smaller setting, you're a dick. So that's who you are to me, as a dick, because behind closed doors, if you're that way and then you're putting on a persona for something else, you're just a fucking dick.
So I think everybody is an alternate form of their true self when they're in public eyes, because it makes you. Almost everybody. I'm not saying everybody. I think a lot of people try to act
Customer service.
more politically correct when in the limelight, right? But you've also only seen one interaction outside of a large space. You haven't seen his day to day life, his interaction with
Right.
his family or whomever.
Right.
True.
Like, there's there's a lot of things, and we all have bad days. And when they
No,
capture
absolutely.
one clip of you having a bad day, or like just getting fed up with having to re-explain the same thing for the
Yeah.
70th time, I mean, it
Well,
gets
yeah.
to a point where
I mean, I
everyone would
can
kind of
get
lose
that.
their shit.
I can
Like,
get that, but
um,
I
so
don't
we
know.
have to be open to the possibility, right? It's
Of course.
possible he could be a pompous asshole, but it's also possible he had one bad day and that's not actually how he normally is. Maybe off that one clip, that dude was just giving him shit all night about the same thing over and over and over again. And he's like, dude, I'm done with it. Like, I don't know, but
And
Right.
then speaking with
there's,
clips, you only see it's a clip because it's just a clip of a bigger thing. So like you
right.
never seen what happened before and after either. So you have to
Right.
take that
Right.
into account too.
Right.
Well,
So
it's possible he could have like snapped for a second, but like I'm sorry, like I'm being an asshole, and that just never made it because it was
hmm
more it drew in more viewership to have
Yeah.
drama, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but it, it's funny though because we're talking about it here, but it happens all the time. People misconstrue things based off of one little piece
thing.
of information
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
are unwilling to then see a larger piece. Like they become fixated on this is how it must be.
Yeah.
I wish more people would be progressive and open to the idea that your initial thought on something may not be correct. Like, I do wish people could discuss things more instead of being so accusatory and factual. Because
Right.
in reality, there's a whole lot of shit we don't know. We just think we know.
That's true.
Like
That is
math,
true.
math is changing all the time.
But
Like
two plus
as
two
much,
is always four.
well,
Depends.
no, it's possible, it's wrong, but something would have to prove it that we could tangibly understand, and then we would adjust.
The
Like
only
that's how
thing
the
I
science
think, yeah,
world
that
works.
could change it would be the definition of two.
But scientists are always open to the understanding that the foundational things we know may potentially not be correct.
Right.
So, as much as maybe Terrence Howard's suggestions were not correct because they couldn't be proven true, it
Money.
doesn't mean that our understanding of it is the full picture.
Yeah.
It may change, right? And
hmm
that's the really cool part about scientists is as crazy as it could sound, if there's tangible proofs and shit like that, they'll be like, "Holy shit." And they will adopt it. They will change,
Right.
right? Like um but it's always done through the scientific process, through proving, through experiments and hypotheses and all that good stuff. And I wish more shit would go through that process before it became a fucking law,
Yeah.
to be honest with
You're
you.
not
Yeah.
wrong. Because then we wouldn't have stupid laws.
There are a lot of
So
stupid laws.
Now that we're on video, viewers, this is the Keef stash that we're about to load the bong with. And that's just to
make a
show.
little.
Can you see?
Can't see it.
Like one of those little mini rock gardens.
Dog, man.
You know those little Japanese miniature rock gardens you can have? You can scoop the
Yeah.
sand. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Just that the sand is
Looks
big.
like one of them incense things.
Yeah.
That's how deep it is.
That's crazy. That's
That
a lot
is
of fucking beef.
That's a stash
So-
right there for sure.
Sponsorship or whatever. Riot boxes, they have this screen on the bottom, and this just magnetizes.
So that
Oh.
as you stash it and you sift it around, yeah, it just collects the keef underneath.
Yeah,
Nice.
like we don't do anything but put weed in it.
Okay. And no,
That's
they do
neat.
not sponsor us, but if you want to,
We're here.
Hey,
hit us
we're
We'll
open
take
to
it.
the idea. You know what I'm saying?
hit us up.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Any way to fund this habit would be beautiful.
Yes.
Any way possible, please.
It's not a habit, it's a lifestyle.
That's for you.
It is a lifestyle.
You're welcome. I keep it loaded.
Y'all heard? I know y'all heard about the Gulf of America, but y'all heard what he did with Colombia?
Hell yeah.
That boy Trump stepping on necks, man, for
That
real.
boy ain't messing around.
I
Oh,
cannot
yeah.
believe this is like no. One, no. It's you don't just change a body of water's name. It to something so stupid. Like, are we
Doesn't make
serious?
sense.
It just makes America look stupid to do that. So can you please fucking stop? Cheeto head. Thank you.
I was about to say something. You was like, "Can we just make America?" And I was about to say, "Great again."
No. Get out.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I so like that term, I kind of agree with it, but not in the sense of all the silly stuff and the political stunts, but in the sense of like restoring patriotism.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a
Absolutely.
beautiful world when Americans, like, even if they didn't get along or agree with each other, could still look at the fucking flag and respect it.
The people
Like,
that died to give you
Mm.
freedoms that you have today, because
Right.
that's the thing people forget is as much as, yeah, we're not fucking perfect, no country is, try to just say whatever you want in another country and have your tongue chopped out. Like, are you serious? We have amazing freedoms here and you're abusing them.
I mean, I think the government oversteps in many ways. but
Always,
I still
almost.
think- I just wish that aggression wasn't turned towards the actual understanding of what our country is foundationally.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, shitty things happen, rights and laws change, and people disagree with things, and
And we're growing and we're
this is
learning
just
and
a
we're
blip
doing
in
better.
time, right? But being proud to be an American doesn't mean that you agree with everything happening.
Right.
And I wish
And-
people see that differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. A lot of people confuse loving your country and supporting your country and
Into nationalism, like hardcore national.
yeah. They
Like
take
that's
that.
not what it is.
They
Right.
take it and really what it is, they try to tie that to the Republican Party, if anything. They try to tie it to a specific party or group, and that's
Yes.
just not
That-
what you do. It doesn't make sense if it's a Republican thing, but Democrats still also love this country too. So like, what do they love? You see, like it just creates a lot more issues, and I wish people would realize like
It's
we
stupid.
go to sleep and we wake up in the same country. We wake up in the
Yeah.
same country every day,
I mean,
unless
most of us were born in the same country.
you see what I'm saying. So like
The
you
sad thing is, a
can
lot
we
of
just come
Come
together,
Can't we all just get along?
the
right?
saddest part is that the ones born here natively are the ones that tend to care less about it, and the ones that come in and are given a chance here, they're more patriotic. Like,
Seeing the people that Kevin worked
But-
with at Capital One who were fighting to become citizens, they loved this country so much more. There was a specific lady that I got really close with that was one of Kevin's coworker who was from India, and she was amazing. We got along really well, and she was the biggest for America person I think I've ever met. And she was like, you guys just don't understand the freedoms you have here, let alone as women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the land of opportunity for us, and was fighting to have her baby, which she did in America, and raise him there. They had moved back overseas for a little bit, but the time that they were there, she was spending trying to get back.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, as one of my old coworkers said, he had came over from I believe Mexico. He was like, I miss home. I do want to go back, but he's like, I want to, the reason why I haven't gone back is because I want my kids to not have to worry about the crazy shit that I've seen and have lived through out there in Mexico. And he was like, the main reason why you see uh, a lot of those people that were born here that came from immigrants, why they don't appreciate it as much is because they never had to witness or live
Yeah.
through as the struggles. Like we struggle here in America. Like America, like you said, is America isn't perfect. There is still those issues here, but compared to other countries, it's the nightmare is
Laughable.
a lot worse.
Well,
Right, and
yeah.
laughable at that point.
Well, the irony in that is that that means that every American, in a way, is entitled,
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Whether
yeah.
it, I mean, honestly, even someone who's homeless and going through an unfortunate situation or chose to do it. But I mean, even in that scenario, they're treated differently in other places,
Hmm.
and it's not always for the better.
Right.
So it's kind of ironic, and then that internally we call people privileged or what have you, and then the reality happens to be that we're all slightly
Just being
privileged because
American.
we're in a first world country.
Let's just change
Yes.
it to American privilege because technically we have it.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
But I mean, it entitles us to, but I mean, that just means we need to be more open to other people's struggles and understanding that in certain ways, even when we're going through tough times,
And as much as we do need to
there's people that have it worse.
there's
That's
like,
true.
we need to protect our borders against people that want to do harm to other citizens, but that doesn't mean our borders should be so hard to get through for someone who just wants a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're all here because the borders were open, because this wasn't our land,
Yeah.
and none of this land is anyone's fucking land. So we all just need to stop trying to make claims to everything. It's no one's shit. We should all be here trying to help each other, trying to live a functional society together, and not just trying to stomp on everyone to get higher up the ladder.
Right.
To
Well,
most people, it, and I've seen to most people growing up, like my struggle is worse than this person's struggle. This I'm going through this. This is worse than what you're going through. Like, oh yeah, this sucks, but like, look what I'm going through, and it's kind of like that doesn't create an honest, open, safe environment for nobody, and it's
Yep.
hard
no, it's just
to.
a competitive environment, right?
Yeah, it
Hard
creates
not
a
to grow.
competitive. It's like a
Right.
competitive workforce. It's like how you know what I'm saying. It just
We
doesn't make
actually
sense.
just had to have this conversation with one of our kids the other day, because that's what they were doing, was just trying to say something that was, one, infactual and kind of outlandish, just to one up her sibling. And it was like, but why? Why? We don't want to be those people. Everyone has different struggles. A mom with a bunch of children is going to be strong, like her brain's going to be done at the end of the day, and she's going to be like, oh man, this is so hard trying to raise a bunch of kids. And then there's going to be a lady who can't even have kids, who her own struggle is, man, you should appreciate those babies because I can't even have them. We all have
Yeah.
different struggles. They're all valid.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's true. And the funny part is, in all of the struggles, like there's breakdowns along the way. There's anger, like the same emotions surface. There's just different degrees or different scenarios. But I don't know. One person's struggle doesn't necessarily override
Negate someone
another's.
else's. Yeah.
I mean, you've heard it time and time from wealthy people that being wealthy might look fantastic from the outside, but it sucks because everyone wants to be your friend. So you have
Yeah.
no idea who the fuck is an actual friend and who's just literally trying to milk you for money.
Right.
And then you have to be more closed off. You can't be as open. You have
Yeah.
to I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
No, you're right, bro.
You're 100% right.
no, we just need to find a
You
way to
right,
stop
you right,
fucking
you
each
right.
other over. That's really what the world needs. And I don't know how to do that.
I can't
You
figure
know?
that out.
I don't
Well, I
think
mean, I
it'll ever be
can.
figured out.
I can if there was no notion of I've got something you don't have, it makes me better than you.
Yep.
From a societal standpoint, if that didn't exist, the drive to fuck people over would die. It would go
Yeah.
away because that's why people do it. They do it for stature, class, to get girls, what have you, right? It's
I'll be
it's
right back.
I don't know. It's kind of archaic because that's what people did back in the day. It still transitions to today. We just do it in a different form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And until we can get rid of the notion of money and say, "Hey, we're actually harvesting all this lumber to be able to provide lumber to people who need to build houses and build whatever, but we're not selling it to them. We're doing the work to provide the lumber, and that's our part of the job, right? As a collective whole." Yeah, his cat.
Your
Your
cat
cat just
put
made
his
an
Fucking
entrance.
yeah,
ass
the fucking.
right in the
I
fucking
know, dude.
camera.
Fucking cat. I can't stand him. Can't stand his cat.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
No, actually, it's not Jake from State Farm. I think it's Jake from like Adventure Time.
Yeah, Jake the cat. Just switched it from dog to cat. I mean, we could have kept it Jake the dog and had people confused, but Jake the cat, yes. Or
Jake,
Jake
come
from.
back.
Come here, man. Come here. He's looking out the window. He's not really worried about this right now.
He's like, birds are far more entertaining than you.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, there's not even birds out there. He's just looking out there because he's stupid. He's not the smartest cat.
I mean, cats like to just look. It's their favorite pastime, it seems.
Yeah,
You know
looking
one thing
and sleep.
What?
we should have done? Record on Discord as well, so we would have had separate audio files.
Yeah, it should be. We should be able to strip the audio from it though, and provide it to you as well, separately.
Can you?
I think so.
Hey, Jake.
We'll
I
see,
know.
but I
Okay.
think I can.
We on lunch. Um. Okay. Wow. Sorry, Jake is just. I don't know what he's. I don't know. Right.
So what's the next topic? What are we talking about next?
I don't know how to go. How far along are we? You know?
I do not.
I would not know either.
But when Pandar gets back, we'll. She just stepped away for a moment. Got any video game news? Any new updates come out that you want to talk about?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. That new NVIDIA graphics card coming out. I want it.
Oh yeah, it looks good. It looks pretty.
I want it, and it's cheaper.
And that's
Really?
the 5000 series.
Yeah, the 50 series. Yeah. I want I think it's the 5070. It's like $799. It's not even bad.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to wait. Like February needs to hurry up.
Good luck getting one, man.
Hopefully I can. I hope I can. But if not, I'll stick to the 40 series. I already know which one I want, so
Right.
it won't be that difficult.
Watch this, guys. Hey, babe, you got some on your skull skin. Oh, thank you. Do I? Where is it? She said I had also something on my skull skin.
I love that she just went along with it.
And she
That's
just,
awesome.
yup, 100% just went with the whole joke, with the whole
That's
bit.
funny.
Love it.
Did you
Where are
ever
we
hit
at,
the
Amanda?
bong? We're at 40 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I did hit the
Oh,
but we can wrap here shortly.
Yeah, I gotta take the dog out soon.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, no. As a topic, my girlfriend has something to suggest, so I'm ahead, hand over the mic to her, and she'll put it
All
out
right.
for you guys.
Word.
Let her sit in the seat. Bring her around.
Wait, did you just take a seat?
Yeah, come on, sit
Yeah,
down.
take a seat.
Move, Itsu.
Oh, they're telling you to move.
Yep, move.
Okay, yeah.
He's laughing.
Get out the way.
Yay, I finally get to meet you. What's up?
Okay. Hello, hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi, hi,
Hi.
hello.
How are ya?
I'm on lunch break for work.
Oh, word.
Hell yeah. What's the topic? Let's get into it.
He said you guys do controversial ones, I guess. I asked my friend this 2 days ago. You guys talking about immigration and stuff. So the question was pros and cons of federal organizations and corporations getting rid of DEI stuff.
Okay.
I
So
haven't really looked into that,
that's what I
so
was
I
gonna
really
say.
have no idea.
I mean,
I've heard about it, but I
Mhm.
haven't looked into it yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess the way I've always felt about it is merit based. In my opinion, is just how things should work. I mean, if somebody is fit for a job, they should have it. I don't think it should be relevant on any other factors.
Mhm.
The
Right.
most
I don't think you
qualified.
should have so many women. Honestly, I don't think people, if the whole point is us to all come together, then we shouldn't be separated by our race, where we come from, what we look like. We should all just
Mhm.
be an equal set of people. I think the world needs to come together, and yeah, women should be making the same amount of men. There shouldn't be those different things because we're all
Right.
people. We're all in here together. We all
Right.
should have the same opportunities, and that's the biggest thing. We do believe everyone should have the same opportunity. Everyone should be afforded good education, good home.
Mhm.
Yes.
Computers are honestly in this day and age something everyone should
They're
have.
necessary. If you
Mhm.
don't have computer skills, you're not qualified for half the jobs that pay
This is
well.
true.
That's true.
I mean, I think everyone should have access to technology. Like, this is why, like, none of the current economies work. None of them. None of those structures work. Capitalism doesn't
Socialism
work.
works only on this micro scale,
Well, the
Mhm.
like a
issue,
village.
socialism works in
Socialism
a
leads to
village.
communism.
Well, no, not. It doesn't have to, right? But the issue with socialism is money. The
Yes.
issue with all of it is money and
It's
status,
money.
And if we finally
or
get
the
rid of
notion of
money,
class,
then all of it goes away.
right? If
And then it'll
somebody's
just move to the next thing.
No, it should just
100%.
be back to trade and like that. The hard part
But
though is
no, I
how
mean,
does
even
someone
outside of,
value a doctor visit versus a cake?
well, no, I mean, so being humans, I don't think it's possible to achieve it, right?
I
But
feel like someone always
the
has to feel like they're
reality,
above someone. So I don't think
Yes.
Right.
right?
there can't be
And
we're all equal. No, 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 no. Because you have a blue car and I have a white car, or I got a yellow car and a yellow car. It's the same as yours, but it's just better.
right,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what when
Mhm.
we were talking about the whole like everyone had everything ideal we could or like the world would be perfect if everyone had everything everyone else had, but it has to
Mhm.
be the same of everything. Like there is literally only one type of
yeah,
car model that seats two people. There is one car
Mhm.
model that seats four people. And then based off your family size is based off the car model you get. Like
you would have to, yeah. I mean, it,
which again is not possible in the world we live in.
Mhm.
right. That's the issue. Like, as much as all of them don't work, I don't necessarily believe humans are capable of getting to actually work together because it would require working together like bees and
Yes.
being okay with the fact that, hey, I work over here stuck in this, and that's
It's
just what I
just
do.
as
That's
important as that person that's giving someone a life-saving operation. Like at the
Right.
end of the day,
Yeah.
someone emptying your trash can is just as important as the doctor taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no
I've
one,
definitely felt that I was a teacher before I worked for the
Right.
state. So definitely feeling that like, oh, you're just a babysitter. Like, no, without a teacher, you wouldn't be an engineer. You wouldn't be a doctor.
Right.
Someone sat there and
yes.
teach you how to read. Without
Right.
that, you wouldn't do anything. So
Yep.
I've definitely been in conversations like that where people, like with teachers, no one sees them as like, you're a glorified babysitter. Just teach my son how to read and keep it pushing.
Yeah,
Right.
no, I despise that. As
Yeah.
I had a
But
friend
see,
who taught.
if we could get to a world where it was like that, the paradigm would shift. People who were janitors would be more highly respected because
Mm-hmm.
they said, "Hey, I get it. No one wants to clean up the trash or the accidents from the bathroom. I'll do that." And everyone would look at them in thanks,
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Right.
in today's world, they kind of get discarded. Like
Oh, you're a
it's messed
trash
up, but they
person?
do a
That's
very important
gross.
job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go fuck
Yeah.
yourself because you'd be
And
living in your trash if I didn't do this.
right. But in
Exactly.
reality, it would just like humans would have to let go of greed and stature and class and all of those things and
So,
move beyond it and work together to do
Let it
jobs
go.
that need to be done.
well, and
Let
here's
it
so here's
go.
a hear me out, guys. It's a suggestion because overpopulation is also a problem. So we just find all the people who don't think they're better than everyone. We make our own community. We apocalypse the rest and start over, right?
Look, every
So,
movie that has that, something always goes wrong. The person in charge wants all the women or all the men, or
Uh,
well, if they
I
want
mean, the
children, I
reality
want a
is
13-year-old wife. Why can't I have that?
the
Every
cause
time.
no,
the
cause no,
Every
reality
time.
is until humans
aren't
evolve
human.
into creatures that are different from those desires, it just won't work. And there's always going to be somebody trying to one up somebody else, and
Yeah.
in the process, screw a million people over.
So
There's
Mm-hmm.
always
then
going to
the
be all
question
of that.
is because we know like the ideal way of things, how they should work, but in actuality it can't work. What is the right way to deal with things with what we have?
So kind of doubling back to the question real quick and to put it in because it was pros and cons, right? I guess in terms of pros, I do think merit based has a lot of like I mean it's I busted my ass for this thing. Do I deserve it? And I do think so. But I also believe that a lot of people given an opportunity, any opportunity,
Could
can adapt and
equally
do the
get
damn
there.
job just as well
Right.
as anyone else. I'm a self-taught software engineer. So if they only hired based off of computer degrees, I wouldn't have ever been a software engineer. But they didn't. They interviewed me for 4 hours. They looked at code I wrote and they deemed me worthy of that position. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know.
It's a
I
tough
think it
spot.
gives opportunities to people who otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But given that opportunity, people can adapt and do just fine.
Right.
Like I don't I don't know. It's a tough one for me because I believe in both things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Didn't
I would certainly give anyone a chance to be a software engineer
Like if
if
someone's
they
willing
had
to
the
learn,
drive to sit down and
yeah.
do it.
yeah. A lot of self
Because
starters.
it's a trade. It really is a trade.
Everything we do are
Right.
trades at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So everyone
Mm-hmm.
had to be taught.
I mean, we're trading labor for money, so everybody's a trade.
And let's be
Yeah.
Everybody has a
real,
trade.
going to college doesn't always mean shit. It's actually doing the job that really teaches you the job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This college is so off base compared to the real world. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I wish there were opportunities just for youngsters getting into new things to sign up and be like, yeah, if you guys need more people, like throw me into a
Yes.
boot camp because seriously, they can get up to speed and they can do the job pretty damn well, especially if they have a senior that they can refer to if something foreign comes, along their way when they're
Mm-hmm.
doing the job. But
Do you have
In terms of legal matters, I don't know. I wish people weren't disgusting people, and then it wouldn't be necessary. But there are plenty of people that are just horrible, and I don't know.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Do
A
you have like
lot.
any viewpoints or pros and cons of either side to share from your opinion?
I'd say it's pros and cons on both. So what I discussed with my friend, some of the pros, well, it depends on honestly what the cons would be if what will come from this. So essentially, a con I feel is if somebody was hired through that, if there was a program, I don't think they should be fired because that company chose to hire them through that process. They should have changed their position or, let them know like, hey, we hired you because XYZ. Just not knowing and say, oh, you're fired now. Wait, what? What do
Right.
you mean I
No.
was a DEI hire you? You guys didn't tell me that. You
No.
hired me because I was black or Asian or because I was gay. Why come I wasn't told this? Well, now you
Right.
know. Leave.
Well,
Yeah, it's
as soon
fucked.
as they hired that
Yeah, that's not
individual,
right.
as soon as they hired that individual, they gave them that position. And that
Hmm.
position entitles them to update their resume to say, now I'm chief executive officer of whatever or whatever their title is. That was given to them when they got the position. That doesn't
Hmm.
change because they erased a law.
Hmm.
They're still that position. They still are a candidate for the opportunity, even if you go to reevaluate it. They should still be considered as a
And it does
candidate
count as
because they are
experience that they were in the
100%.
job. That
Exactly.
doesn't matter why you
I
got
mean, at what
hired. You
point?
got hired and now have experience doing that job.
I mean,
100%.
at what point do you become a master at something? Well,
Hmm.
technically, it's when you've been doing it for, I think it's 10,000 hours,
Hmm.
right? So if you're along that path, you're still gaining hours. You're
Hmm.
learning, you're evolving or changing and learning and adapting is a much better word, to the job, right? And you'll actually be way better at it than somebody fresh out of college.
Yee.
Like
Yeah.
that's the funny thing. I don't know.
It's cray. This
It's all
world
Yeah.
crazy.
sucks.
I just
Yeah.
wish that the humans were different.
Absolutely.
I like
Humans
the
were
fact
better.
that we
If we weren't
come in
so
different
greedy.
flavors and walks of life and have different experiences. I value that because life would be kind of freaking boring if that wasn't the case. But I just
Right.
wish collectively we could get the fuck along
Could you
better.
imagine how much our food would suck if we only had one type of food?
Ugh.
Don't even that's a nightmare for me.
I mean,
Mhm.
anyone who's been low on money and had to just eat ramen back to back to back to back knows that like you can only change the flavor up so much, and then you're just ugh, ugh.
Your points of being
Ramen.
humans being different. I mean, I studied his. I was have a history degree, so looking at it, when I see certain things happening, in politics and stuff, the approach that I go to is historically like, well, this happened before. Everything has pretty much happened already.
Yep.
So that's usually how I gauge my opinion on it if it's going to be really bad or really good.
Right.
That's why I feel like a lot of minorities see this DEI thing as they're not going to hire any more minorities because now they don't have to. They don't have to check this box like, okay, you need this percent of people who aren't Caucasian. So in their mind, based on historically, like, oh well, they're not going to hire me now, even though I have the right credentials for it. And I mean, being a black woman, I've been in positions where it has been, mainly, non-minorities. But, I was raised a certain way to make sure that you have everything you need plus 10 times that. But I mean, I know people have said this before, like, oh, it's made to make people, not as good, or they're only hiring them, they can't do the job well, but because they fit this minority of, being LGBT or being black or being Latino, that they can get this job because they can't get it off merit alone.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know how accurate that is on every DEI hire. I don't know what the process was. I know those programs, if someone, may be coming in who may not have all the skills they may need, they may say, okay, we'll just put this person in this program to get them in here because maybe we see something in them. But I don't know if it's as black and white as it's portrayed to be. Like, these people don't have the merit, so they're just in here because of their background, and that's it.
Right.
Because why would you hire someone who can't do the job? Why would you want that burden
Oh, I
on your
mean,
other co-workers.
whether it was
Right.
DEI or not, you're still going to look for somebody that isn't going to cost as much to bring up to
Mhm.
speed, right?
You would
Right.
hope.
It's business.
Yeah.
Business is all about money.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, they don't want to get a candidate who knows absolutely nothing, that they got to actually teach algebra and trigonometry and then
Mhm.
something else in order to do the position. Like, I know
Yeah.
that was a really oddball scenario, but the easier it is to bring someone up to speed, the better. So just because they're DEI, that doesn't change. They're still going to find somebody who's fits whatever criteria that they can bring up to speed quickly. So
Yeah.
to some
Right.
degree, they all had merit to be there.
Mhm.
Whether there was another candidate that had more years experience or whatever, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't.
The
So
arguments I heard was that they don't have any merit, and I'm like, there's no way they're gonna hire someone that has no experience in this just because they're from their certain background.
No, that's
That wouldn't make any
idiotic.
sense.
Right.
no. At, at the end of the day, it's all about money. Money's green.
Mhm.
They don't give a shit about anything else.
No, that's
Yeah.
why all of
I
your
mean,
seniors end up getting let go and they just want more juniors because
right?
they
They
can
do an
pay them
influx
less.
Mhm.
precisely because once you work there so long, year after year, right? You make a pretty decent amount of money after a while, and you get expensive. Rotate out, bring in college kids, keep one or two of the people who have the knowledge, right?
I think I know how to fix
And
it though.
then disseminate that to the new people.
For like interviews and stuff, honestly, there shouldn't be a face to face. You don't need to know what the person looks like. You need to read their resume. You can speak to them.
Mhm.
Capital
But you
One's
don't need to know.
so Capital One does phone interviews,
Yeah.
non face to face interviews. There is a caveat to that. People lie and they have somebody else do the interview and then they show up a completely different person.
I mean, and I get it, and there'll be some of that there, and I don't know how to. Maybe it's you've got
I'm not saying that
to.
negates the validity of your
But maybe
statement.
there's
I'm just saying
someone
that's a
like an
problem that
HR
comes with it.
person that, as the interview starts, like it could even be a Zoom interview. As the interview starts, they verify ID, yada yada, do what they've got to do, and then cameras get denied. The interviewer comes in. It's all anonymous. You can even add voice changers so they can't tell if you're male or female, and the person can only speak in fucking robot back. Like, they're
They probably would say because when I was a career counselor for Goodwill at their career center, and I know one argument they'd say is, oh well, because I've interviewed people when I was in college too for the resident assistance positions. They'll say we can't read their body language, so how are we going to know if they're lying? We want to really see the candidate. We have to read body language because I've taken notes during interviews of people's body language when they're speaking to kind of see if they're lying or see if they shift in their chair and stuff. So I know they would definitely have that and say we have to see how their facial
but
expressions move.
some. So I will say I can understand that, but for my son, who I guess if you read his body language, he does not stop moving or fidgeting.
Mhm.
But he's being honest.
Yeah.
He's just a
No,
little tiny crackhead, and I don't know why.
he's just spastic.
He's like,
yeah.
I'm done with school. And we're like,
calm down,
calm
buddy.
down.
Yeah.
Or jumping. He likes to just jump. Just jump.
Mhm.
Stand there jumping. And we're like, bruh.
I wish I had
Calm
just a
down.
tiny bit of his energy. But I don't know. Bias is always going to exist. I mean, it exists in the
100%.
form of people who
It's
are
garbage,
autistic and
but
stuff
it's
like
true.
that. I mean, people who have certain, they were born a certain way or what have you, but they just don't. They're socially awkward, right? They don't pick up on mannerisms or things, and they just don't make a good fit in a social setting. A lot of those people also are kind of discarded in an interview because half
Mhm.
of it is how do you relate to me and my team,
And impress
especially
me.
yeah,
How can you
and
impress me with how you speak?
Right.
sometimes it's not even like sometimes the choice is picking somebody who fits better socially than
Mhm.
even fits the job better. I mean, I can tell you that's true. Like,
And
it
it's actually just,
it's
it's sad because at the end of the day,
humans show favoritism
autistic
in
people be
many
smart.
different ways. Well, I just think humans show favoritism in many different ways, and I sadly don't know how to correct that because I think even in the sense of having the DEI laws, there's still not enough opportunity afforded to plenty of people
And that
who
doesn't
could do
stop
those jobs, and like we
like
need more
the
people
CEO from
doing those
hiring his
jobs.
nephew just because it's
Yeah.
his nephew.
Right.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't change it. Yeah.
I had to help someone like that, and he didn't know anything. And I'm like, all these resources for you, and you, okay, someone else could have had this opportunity, but he
Yeah,
makes
but
$300,000,
and you
so
know what
God
the
he can
funny
damn.
thing
determine.
and
Yes.
you know the funny thing is, as much as they didn't know anything starting that job, I bet you 5, 10 years goes by and they're like, yeah, I know how to do the job. And they do just fine at it.
Maybe
But
because
that same of
Yeah, because he ended up just
opportunity
leaving.
should be afforded to
I
other
was going to say,
people.
if it's someone who actually
Hmm.
cared and was happy that their uncle gave them that opportunity, yeah. But if they're an entitled prick who's just like, yeah, well, you had to give me the job, then they're not going to learn. They're not going to
Yeah,
do anything. They're
nepotism
going to be a
works
problem.
sometimes. Nepotism
The
is
problem
good
is
sometimes.
the problem is money. Companies would have more employees if they had the budget,
Hmm.
right? If it made sense for the profit at the end of the day. But again, if money wasn't there, we'd have a shit ton more software engineers. We'd have so many more teachers. We'd have so many more doctors.
That's something we
Because
preach
guess
all the
what? They wouldn't have
time.
traditionally fit the bill, but we would have been like, cool, you want to help out? We definitely could use the help. And then we'd bring them up to speed. And
Speaking of
that's,
that, oh,
uh-huh.
I got a master's degree in counseling, and when I went into it, I got my bachelor's degree, and I'm like, okay, there's different grants and stuff that are awarded to students. No, master's program, doctoral programs, they only give out loans. And I was talking to my sister about it, and she was like, well, yeah, they can't have everyone having these high level degrees. You have to have the money to have it. And I'm like, dang, you're right. Because thinking about it, I was like, wow, yeah, they don't give any, I guess, free money
Right.
to students who are trying to pursue a higher level degree. Hmm. So if someone does want to, become a doctor, you got to be able to pay for it. Even
Yeah.
if you have all the right grades and all this stuff, who cares? You can't
Yep.
afford it.
Pell Grant
Or you
only
can sign
covers a
your whole life
bachelor's.
away. Or you can
Hmm.
sign your whole life away and
Get, yeah, a loan, a personal loan taken out, which,
Hmm.
if you can have
oh,
it prove the collateral or the credit score or
which,
whatever
mind
to
you,
be
you're
able
a
to
college student, so guess what your credit is? Garbage.
Exactly.
normally, yeah.
Because that's a
But
whole nother problem why we start the world with shit credit as people who have never had a chance with credit. But yeah, it's garbage. Let's go.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep, 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 yep.
yeah, we
And
discussed that in one of the
I think
episodes.
teachers should honestly be paid in the same bracket as a doctor because without a teacher, you would never have a doctor. Like,
This is
our
true.
teachers are very highly underappreciated. No wonder there are so, like, little of them left. They're done.
Hmm.
Problem is we need more of them, right?
Yes.
And the school district only has so much money to put allocated towards hiring human resources because that's how a business views it, is you're a resource,
Yeah.
right? So we can only really afford to pay these resources between this amount and this amount, or we're going to go over budget and we're not going to be able to teach enough kids because of the regulations around this and how there can only be so many in the classroom. So they're like trying to balance all of these things, but it's all fabricated by our own stupidity. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Like people would do jobs without getting paid if they were respected in society and had the things they needed to live. So if we
Yeah.
could arrive at that at some point, whether it's in my lifetime, a kid's lifetime, whatever, but it's got to go there if we're ever going to actually move forward productively.
I know at least in schools, going deeper into that, because I got to see being an actual teacher and then going to school for school counseling. I got to intern, so I saw the background of things at schools. Looking at testing and data and stuff, and just hiring and all that. A lot of teachers, experience that. A lot of it is like you said, it's not the kids. It's some of the kids, but people higher
Some of
up.
them are assholes.
Yes, they are.
True.
I don't blame
And
you.
when you meet their parents, you see exactly why. But I will say, the way I was raised my dad, who was in the military, so we were kind of like, it's very strict. He was a little lax, but more so it was a lot of order in the house. That's how I ran my classrooms. And it was to the point to where I would meet with a parent and I would, in the classroom, if I called a child's name, they respond immediately. And when their parent called their name, they would actively ignore them. And I'm like, why do you respect a teacher, someone you've known for 6 months, but your parent, your mom, your dad, whatever. I'm not going to listen to them.
That's
Right.
sad.
That's
No.
a
My
lot.
kids are the first ones. They'd be like, "Don't call my mom. Don't call my mom."
Some of them say, call him. Call my mom. Call him.
Oof, no. Our kids would be crying already. Like, what can I do? I'll clean the classroom. No, please don't call
Mm-hmm.
my mom. Because
Yeah,
mama
that's
showed up and
good.
beat her butt in front of the teacher. Let's go. No, but that's one of our big things was disrespect. And a very close friend of mine is a teacher in the Newport News school system, and she deals with that consistently. And maybe it was around the time of COVID, shortly after schools were like just going back in, but basically in that school system, it wasn't my friend's school, but she knew the teacher that was involved, and a kindergartner brought a gun to school and shot the teacher.
Oh my God.
She ended up like getting shot through the hand. Her hand is what took
Oh,
the impact when she put her hand
I
up.
think I heard about this.
Yeah, and she's in the
Mm-hmm.
process of suing the school because multiple times throughout the day, the child showed the gun to other students. The students alerted people and they shrugged it
Mm-hmm.
off. So, like, hearing the stories from when that was going down, but the other time she's done mostly special needs classes the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
and hearing the difficulties that she's had just to get the help that she needs for her students because her classroom is overcrowded, and with special needs there's an even smaller amount that you're supposed to have per teacher because it's more work.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I get it. A lot of the stories, because as soon as she would get off work, she'd come sit and vent with me as we chill.
Yeah, my sister works with when I don't want to say special needs. She works in an alternative school. Some of
Okay.
the students do have, you know, a lot of students with autism there, but majority of the students, and I don't know why they're mixed in with students who have behavior issues. I
Right.
don't know why they're like that
Yeah.
because then those students get bullied, and I'm like, why would you mix all those
Yeah,
students together?
the
Because all of them don't
assholes
have the
with the
same
kids who are
I
unfortunate. Like,
mean,
come on.
exactly. So I don't know. So it's a lot of issues there. She's been
I
hit
think
before by students. Kids been stabbed there. I would never work there. Kudos to
Yep.
her.
Nope. I'm good.
yeah. I
Mm-mm.
mean, it's
We
I don't
do.
agree that they're mixed in together either. Because yeah, I mean, I think some kids really just need to go to military boot camp,
Yes.
right? And then they'll be fine.
Yeah,
They might have
structure.
behavior
It's
issues, but
because
have
they're
somebody yell at them, exercise incessantly,
Yep.
and keep them on a tight schedule, and their behavior will change in just a fraction of a time. Like,
Majority of them, she said, are foster students, like they're foster kids. So I
right.
see
Yep.
why a lot of them it's a lot of hurt in their heart.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
act out for attention.
Right.
Yes.
Some of them are up to, I think some of them are 21 years old. It's a mix.
Yeah.
And again, why are you
Because
mixing older
after,
students with younger
right,
kids?
after so
Yeah.
long being stuck in high school and not graduating, they move to alternative schools because you can only be
Hmm.
so
I think it's
much.
19 and a half.
Yeah. And it's just sad because a lot of the times it is just different walks of life, lack of structure at home.
Hmm.
It's just
Drug
sad.
Sometimes
usage.
it's like family problems. I
Yeah.
mean, kids miss years of school and large gaps of time all the time due to issues at home.
We do
I mean,
virtual homeschool, and it is one of the best things we ever decided to do. It is amazing. Our kids are pretty much done with school by lunchtime every day, and then they've got their whole day to be free. Their education is in their hands, but it has structure. There's teacher guided time, it's just online. I will say it does have the same problem that a brick and mortar school does, but maybe a bit more so. There's no really teacher student one on one time unless it's specifically asked for. But it is a really good structured thing. Like the K-12 program, if your state has it, is great to look into for any
I tried to
child.
do that when I was in high school. I tried to do Spanish, and the teacher was like, "It's due before the end." And when you say anything's due whenever, to me that's never. At least back then.
Procrastination time. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to just take it at my actual high school because I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I need someone saying this is due tomorrow.
Our kids.
They started off rough. It took a few, for my oldest at least, it took a few years of yelling and crying and why are you lying? Why are you Googling the answer? Why are we doing this? But I will say this past year it's her first year in high school and she's done amazing. They have an esports league and this is her second year on the esports league and their team actually just won the fall championship. So
Congrats to them.
yeah, thank you. I'll let her
it's
know.
exciting.
She was
stoked.
But yeah, so there's definitely some good opportunities. It's got some cons as well. But at the end of the day, well, one, I don't have to worry about them with this whole school shootings things that keep happening.
Yes.
I'm not worried about bullies. We do have to find more ways to get them interacting with other children face to face, but they also have online friends that they hang out with that they've met through the program and can play games, meet up in a family-friendly Discord that we have set up that they get to go play games with. So
Okay, cool.
we try to make sure that they still get other kid interaction. But they love it. They do.
That's because they're normally able to go play video games by like 1. Whereas in traditional school.
No, it'd be like 4 or 5 o'clock. Oh, wait, did you do your homework? Oh, now you got to shower and get ready for school the next day.
So the one thing I really like about the program, though, as much as yes, procrastination can. I mean,
it can
I
bite
think
them in the
anyone who's
ass.
done online classes has experienced that, right? But yeah, I think given enough time, she's figured out what works for her and been able to adapt to it. Whereas when I transitioned from high school to college, like I got my associate's degree, but I never actually got a computer science degree for a bachelor.
You're breaking up because you're not facing your mic.
Sorry. But what the hell was I talking about? This is the problem with being stoned.
You had talked about not getting a 4-year degree. You only got a 2-year degree.
You were talking about the transition from high school to college.
Oh, yes. Sorry. And then I was explaining I did go to college, but I said earlier I didn't have a degree. I do have a degree in occupational science, but not in anything related to the computer science field. With that being said, the transition from high school to college was like a shocker because everything was my responsibility. It wasn't a teacher every day saying, where's this thing? You know, this is due tomorrow. And all of those nice, helpful reminders, they were gone. It was, here's your syllabus.
Do it.
Right. And this is when everything is expected. This is when you're expected to read it. It's all right there. That's great. I never looked at the thing really. And like, it was a shock. It was like a culture shock for me. I was like, what the heck is this? So I did rough when I first got into college, and then it got better. But not having to go through that transition and treating like your middle school, high school, and all of the things very similar, putting the responsibility on the students and the onus on them to be ahead, to read along, things of that nature. I think that's a really good lesson to learn as early as possible. Because that's the way the grown-up world works, right? Like, it's easy to procrastinate in the grown-up world because people are just going to say, hey, I need this thing done. And that's the only thing you're ever going to hear.
That's true.
Right? Until they're yelling at you about where is this thing.
I said I needed it done.
Remind me.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
so the grown-up world is different, and the closer it
Yeah.
aligns, the better, because then there's not a shock when we transition.
Yeah, I would say my dad did a good job in making sure that we knew he definitely sheltered us, but we knew what was expected of us. Like you're saying, the transition from college. I really didn't have an issue. I guess because high school was so jam packed. I played sports. I was taking a bunch of AP classes, and I really just extended myself. So when I went to college, I was like, oh, I can do whatever I want. So I made sure my work was done, and I also was around people who had the same mindset. So we hung out with each other every day, but we did our homework together, and then
Nice.
on the weekends we hung out with each other. We went to parties. We would do all these fun things, but our work always got done.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
it was
wonderful.
That's
I
awesome. Yeah.
wish I wish
Yeah.
I had
That was
done
not the friend set that I found in high school, but I still was I got my work done,
Mhm.
but I knew I could have done more had I not turned into a stoner in high school. So this is I've done it, kids. Don't follow my footsteps. Wait till you're older to start smoking weed.
I think
Because,
too that was crazy too. That's also why I did everything I needed to do, even in college.
yeah.
He was
No, my mom was a stoner. Like I came from my mom's side was a family of stoners, so I started smoking really early on. And it did help me with some creativeness on papers, but at the end of the day, it 100% made my procrastination worse. It 100% made me sleep in class sometimes, and eat a lot. But I graduated a year early,
that's
did what I
good.
needed to do. But yeah, I do think partially I could have done a little bit more had I not been such a stoner.
It's fair.
I
But I
gotta
think
get.
everyone deserves to have their vices to a degree.
Mhm.
Like
I actually have to go
something.
back to work.
Oh,
Okie
get
dokie.
cut. No.
Thank you for joining
But
us.
yes, thank you for
Thank you
stopping
for having
in.
me.
And
No
now
problem.
you need to make a Discord and join us more often.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have both you and Itsu in here.
Heck
That'd be
yes.
I
awesome.
have to get into Discord because I don't do any of that.
He'll teach you. Make
Oh
him.
goodness. Make him teach me.
Yep.
Yeah. He's got the knowledge. He does.
Have a
Look,
good rest of the
yeah.
day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. What up?
What's good?
Nuke has abandoned us. He took the dog for a walk.
And only the dog came back.
Yeah, I seen the dog come in the corner. I was like, oh,
But it's probably definitely close to time to cut because we're at an hour, 22 minutes.
an hour and 22 minutes. Yeah.
So if somehow someone could bring Nuke back so we can do the ending part, that'd be
Anyone
great.
can call him.
The nuke has left the building.
If everyone
fine.
just yells
Right? Nuke has
at one time.
again. He might. Does he have his headphones on? I don't think he does.
This is not okay. I'm his guest star. He is the host.
Actually,
host
when I
has
was
left. He said,
copying
"Y'all
the
host it."
stuff, I don't know if it's because he left, but it has me as the host. When I was copying the URL codes.
Really?
Yeah.
I can manage like the stream and stuff on
Oh
this
no,
end on my end.
I
Yeah.
can too, and I can
But I
say
didn't-
the
yeah.
stuff, but I didn't know if it would be awkward to have the ending with a missing person.
Oh, that dog's going lit. Oh, that dog's lit.
Nuke's coming. The dog's
Oh, that's
doing
such a
that because
pretty
there's
dog.
a person right there. Person.
Person.
Hello. Echo, echo, echo.
No, it's fine. Let's do the outro. Look. Oh, dang it. The
Aw.
dog ran away too.
Oh, there he
There
goes.
he is. He's back. I knew you were right there because the dog was staring at
Dog
you.
started
I was like,
tweaking,
someone's
boy.
right there in the room. The dog's.
Going ham.
Yeah.
Dog
But
is
we were about to
tweaking.
do the outro unless you want to talk about anything. But I think we're at like an hour and.
We're almost
20
at 2
minutes or
hours.
something.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, no, I got nothing to talk about.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, that's where we're going to call it for today, everyone. See you every Friday. Just remember, it's more than cannabis and coffee, it's a mindset. Whether you see us or hear us, you're part of the crew, and we want to hear from you. So make sure to reach out via Facebook, X, or Instagram, which you can find all at cannabiscoffeecrew.com. Bye.
Bye. Yee yee. Bye.